eyes look sleeping there. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Lowered Expectations. Thanks for lowering your expectations and hanging out with me here. I do appreciate it. As you can see from the thumbnail and title of this video, I bought a bus. I'd been considering buying a bus for quite a while. I went and tested one and it needed a whole bunch of work. I decided I didn't want that because I didn't want to get myself into a project. So I came across a bus at auction, and this video is basically about the trip to go and get it. I hope to release some videos in the future about actually doing some work on it. And the reason why I decided to start this series now is because I'm planning on doing some traveling in the bus. I've been doing some work on it, and hopefully this will lead up to that. No promises. I'm going to work at my own pace and try not to overwhelm myself with editing videos. But yeah, maybe you guys can look forward to that. I am going to come back at the end of the video and talk about some future plans, and I might even stop in the middle and show you guys some of the stuff that I've been purchasing from Viver with my own money. They've been asking me to do some collaborations with them, but I've just been too busy for that. Anyway, let's get to the video. Florence? Hi. Florence? Come on. Flo. Hi, Orangey. Yeah, what's she doing? Florence. Florence. Come on, Orangey's here. Florence. Hey. Going to try to pick up a bus from an auction. You guys who have been following me on Patreon here will know that I considered buying another bus, took it in for an inspection, and it ended up having some considerable problems. So decided not to pull the trigger on that one. So we're gonna go down, do an inspection on this one, and if everything works out well, and if we're the highest bidder, we will be coming home with a new bus. And while we're there, I'll probably get a little bit of footage of just touring around the facility, just because I've never done this before. I apologize if that original intro was a little bit weird. I was kind of thrown off because BJ offered to record for me, and I'm just used to recording myself. I kind of forgot to say thank you to Jack for being my latest supporter on Patreon. So thanks, Jack, and thanks to everyone else for supporting me here as well. BJ and I are at the hotel. He's currently in the washroom, and we're gonna get up at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Well, actually today, because it's 1 a.m. and we're gonna go look at a bus and a few other things. We're mainly here for the bus, but while we're here, we're gonna look at some other things. The bus that I had been looking at before was going for, I think, 22,000, and I was hoping to beat the guy down to about 20. And then I had the bus inspected and decided that it just wasn't worth that at all. So this one was going for 4,000, and then I bid on it to see if somebody else was paying attention, and it's now up to 5,000. There's been a little bit of back and forth, but anyway, we're gonna go inspect it in the morning. I'm gonna try to do some recording. I'm currently trying to put some footage from my phone on my computer. I didn't bring an actual camera. I'm just gonna record with my phone, and so I'm trying to get basically memory space on my phone so I don't run out. So yeah, I guess we'll see you guys in the morning. We'll see you guys when we're ready to go look at a bus. She made it here, only with a couple blinking check engine lights. All right, folks, it's a little before 8 a.m., about 7:45, and we're going to inspect the bus. Not sure how much of this I'll be able to film. But yeah, there's geese on the roof. All right, folks, this is the bus that I'm looking at. It has a bit of rust here that's concerning, but it's also got some other problems that I should be focused on more. The air isn't working, which means, yeah, I don't know. In order to get it out of here, I would have to put air in it using the air compressor on my truck. Maybe the bags are all blown out, so this could turn into a real ordeal. Yeah, it's squatted all the way down. The system's not airing up. You can see here it's doing a exhaust filter clean, but anyway, yeah, the air gauge is not coming up at all. This one does have this panel working, which the other one doesn't. It has some of the stuff on there working, but yeah, not sure yet. Well, fellas, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is that we did win something. The bad news is that turns out we couldn't afford the bus. So instead, for a work vehicle, we've got this. It's actually a 4-seater, which is much better than the bus. I mean, that thing had way too many seats. I'll just take a step outside. BJ's hanging out in the back there. Take a step outside and show you guys what this thing's all about. It's pretty sweet. I don't know what's wrong. It ain't got no gas in it.
This might be the one too. The trailer's powered as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jack Dan, yeah, definitely. Diesel only. Why are you putting diesel in the tires? Well, folks, I was doing a screen recording and then was so convinced I wasn't gonna win, I shut my phone off, put my phone in my pocket and started walking back towards the bus. And I pulled my phone back out a couple of rows before we got back to the bus, and turns out that I won. A little bit more than I wanted to pay, a little bit more probably than I should have paid, because we're not even sure if the thing's gonna make it home. We've got to figure out a way to air it up because, yeah, it's basically dragging on the ground. Not literally, but it's a couple inches from the ground, and it 100% will hit something on the way home if we try to drive it on the highway like that. So we're going to have to come up with something. In this box behind me on the bench is a self-contained diesel heater. I'm going to be doing an unboxing and brief review of it in the near future, or at least I hope. I'll put a picture up on the screen of what it actually looks like when it's out of the box. There it is. I'm now going to show you guys some of the things that I've purchased from Viver over the last few months. There's a bunch of stuff that is maybe too hidden away to show you, but I'll do my best to show you a few things. Over by the press over there, we've got some jack stands. I've purchased those. There's also some heavier duty jack stands that are underneath the bus holding it up right now. I've got a forge behind me right there. I've used that once to melt some aluminum. We have a jack. Where's my jack? Oh, there's a 5-ton air jack, which is kind of hidden behind a bicycle, but that's a 5-ton air jack that, yeah, I'm going to be using to lift the bus off the jack stands. In behind this vacuum cleaner is a Viver chainsaw. I'm going to be doing a brief video on that, I think. I took down the tree in front of my head. That wasn't the plan. I bought this chainsaw, went and got some wood for firewood, and then decided to take down the tree in front of my house. I've been wanting to do it for years, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a video on this saw. The results were kind of shocking. This is an amazing little chainsaw, especially for the price. And I don't know, is there other stuff? Oh, a 45 amp battery charger that I got for the bus. And there's probably some other stuff. There's definitely some other stuff, but yeah, I can't remember what it all is now. So let's get back to the video. I'll see you guys at the end. All right, folks, about an hour and a half later, we've been messing with the bus, trying to get it aired up. We ended up going to a couple of different stores, and we have all the fittings we think we need now, hopefully. Yeah, the air compressors don't seem like they're gonna work based on the smell of the air coming out of the tank. And so we've got a bag full of fittings. We're going to tee a bunch of stuff together, use a ball valve, and then fill this with air compressor from my truck until it's aired up. And then we're gonna try to get to a Canadian Tire and get a 12-volt air pump, tire pump. And that way I can kind of monitor. When we fill the system up, I should be able to see what the pressure is on the gauge. And then as I'm driving, I'll be able to see if the pressure has dropped. So we went through the trouble of figuring out where all these hoses go, and we put air into the airbags, but partly probably due to the size of the airbags and probably partly due to the fact that the bus is way lighter on the rear, if we tee everything together, the back of the bus is going to be way up and the front might still be dragging on the ground. Yeah, but we're going to try it. We'll see what happens. Let you guys know. All right, folks, it's about half an hour later probably. We've got 80 psi, a little over 80 psi in the tank. It's been filled with the air compressor from my truck. And yeah, BJ just put this away all neat and tidy, but basically ball valve coming out of there. We got a bunch of T's tying everything together so that we have air pressure stored in the tank going to the front and the back. This is how we fill it. We're yeah, pretty confident that this should at least get us home, and then we can sort things out from there. We made it to, what's the name of the place? I can't remember. Church's Texas Chicken. Anyway, just finished eating and I feel a little bit rejuvenated. We've got a 3-hour drive ahead of us, assuming everything goes right, which I shouldn't do. Got a little bit of air leak. I don't know if you guys will hear this in this valve, so I'm going to try tightening it up and hoping that that takes care of it. We started at like 82 or 83 psi and we're now down to 60 after driving here and eating. So it's probably only been maybe 45 minutes. That being said, even if it was losing air at this rate, we could still make it home. But I'm gonna have to get BJ to pull up. We're going to fill the tank back up, hopefully get this leak stopped. I apologize for the noise. It is a little noisy on the highway. I am cruising at 110 kilometers an hour, which is the speed limit, 70 miles an hour approximately. And there's a bit of a vibration. I think it's coming from either the carrier bearing or a, what do you call it? Universal joint, something like that. I don't think it's serious, but I don't know. I haven't put any fuel in it. There was half a tank of fuel in the tank already. So I think if there's a really convenient fuel station, I will stop and top up the tank. Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. Might be a little cocky. There is quite a bit of wind noise inside of here. There's no radio or anything like that. I'm gonna get something so that I can yeah, have a little bit of music and also navigate to the jobs that I need to go to. Anyway, I'm gonna flip the camera around, show you guys what the gauges say. Don't be alarmed by the oil pressure. The engine sounds great. I shouldn't say that, knock on wood, but yeah, I'm fairly certain that it does in fact have oil pressure. But the gauge is doing some funny stuff. Not a whole lot to see, but I'll flip you guys around anyway. All right, folks, all fueled up and ready to go. Just gonna show you the air compressor setup we got in here, but I kind of want to get home at this point. Ugh, door's locked. So I think I told you guys what we were planning on doing, and well, we ended up doing that. You can see the front suspension's at 80.7 PSI, which is indicated here on the gauge. Anyway, I gotta get driving because BJ is waiting over there for me. I've been scrolling through some of the settings. I wasn't aware this stuff was actually in here, and then BJ told me it was. So thanks, BJ. So I've been driving on the highway now for about 2 hours at 110 kilometers an hour, and the average speed is still only, I've gone past it. The average speed is only 12 kilometers an hour. So this vehicle obviously spent a whole lot of time idling and just puttering around pretty slowly. So probably not the best thing, but anyway, I've got the tach up there now. You can look at the fuel mileage and a bunch of other stuff. We'll see if we can find, without running off the road here, the average fuel economy since I reset it is currently at 18.8 liters per 100 kilometers. All right, folks, we are arriving home. We made it. This is my first trip into my neighborhood with my new bus. That needs a lot of work. It's gonna need considerable work before I ever put it to work. Alright, pull into the alley here and measure it up and see if I can actually get it to fit into the backyard, because that would be ideal. That would be great if I could. I'm not terribly hopeful that this is gonna work, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, folks, it's the following morning, and typical Alberta weather. It was so hot yesterday, it was almost unbearable in the bus. And now today, it is, it's hoodie weather, in fact. I could stand having a second hoodie. I'm gonna do a cold start on the bus and see what it's like. She got some bugs on her yesterday. All right. Let's see. I don't know if these have a glow plug light or if it only comes on at a certain temperature. Oh yeah, it has a glow plug light on the left hand side there, and it went out. Fire's right up. Don't see any smoke coming out of it. That's good. Oil pressure low, stop engine. All right, she's going through the automatic warm-up thing. I'm gonna have to read a manual on this and figure some stuff out. This is a new airbag for the rear of my bus. And I have that because, well, a few weeks ago I was moving the bus and I had an airbag explode. At the first of the video, I mentioned that I was doing some work on the bus, and that is just one of the things that I've been doing. Turns out that finding parts for this Erbach bus, it's the Spirit of Mobility, a little bit more tricky than I had anticipated. All of this stuff on the floor behind me here, that's panels and stuff out of it, you guys will see in some upcoming videos, very likely, if I build up the gumption to actually edit those videos. You guys will see that I've removed a bunch of stuff, and here is actually a clip of the inside of the bus as of today. I've been making a bunch of progress. I'm really happy with the way things are going, but as I've said in other videos and earlier in this one, editing is quite a chore, and so what you guys get to see isn't necessarily everything that's been done, or especially not everything that's been done at the pace it's been done. It's just how much energy and time I want to divert to editing those videos together so that other people can watch them. The next video that I release will probably be about the self-contained diesel heater that I purchased from Viver, just to kind of get me back into the swing of things. I think it's going to be an easy one, and also the heater itself is going to come in handy. I am going to be asking Viver for probably a couple things in the near future. I'm going to try to get 2 of the Bluetooth heaters, the orange ones, that I have in my truck and I've made videos on before. They are really good heaters, and I want to have them installed on the bus. The bus does have its own heating system, but I'm not going to get into it now. It's a little bit impractical to run all the time, so these diesel heaters are actually going to be a better heating system. And so I'm going to be asking Viver for those, and possibly some batteries and some other stuff as well for the bus. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you next time.